Alright, welding again. My channel is about automotive. Welding is automotive, in my opinion, because it's more advanced automotive, honestly. But if you're a good mechanic, you know how to weld. This right here is not just the Everlast 160 STH. It has to do with any of the 7 pins, the controls. When you get the unit, it comes with a torch, and it just has the control. It's a switch. You push the button on the torch. I don't have it here right now with me. You push the button and it activates whatever you have on here. If you have it hooked up to 120 volts, it'll go up to like 90 right here. If you have it hooked up to 220 or 240, whatever, it goes up to the 160 amps. So if you have it just hooked up to the 120, then you have the switch and you plug it in here for the TIG, and on the torch you push the switch, it goes to whatever you have set it at, 190 or whatever amps you have set it at. If you set it right here, you set it at 20, it'll go to 20. If you set it at 40, it'll go to 40. If you set it at 60, it'll go 60. If you set it all the way up to the 90 amps that it will go to, hooked up to the 120, which is just regular household, you know, plug, it goes up to 90 amps. And but that's it. You hit the button, it goes up to whatever this is set at. You don't have much control with the amperage. You can also buy a foot pedal, and I was noticing that some people, they're confused about what is what when it comes to this control. Because if you buy, you can make foot pedals. I can make one right now because I understand what is what. This is knowledge. It has to do with any 7 pin. There's a lot of different 7 pins out there. I think this is informative for, you know, people who are interested in this type of thing, because you can make your own foot pedal. You can make your own switches. You can make your own amp controls. If you understand what these pins are for, if you understand what they do, what the inputs are, you can make your own, like I said, you can make your own foot pedal. You can make your own amp controls. You can make your own switches. You can make your own whatever. So what I'm going to attempt to do is explain exactly what these pins do. So, I don't have it right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna label off what the pins are, the numbers for the pins, and these numbers are on the like, for example, the plug. You'll see the numbers on the plug, and let me see. We got number 1. This is number 1 right here. I'm touching it. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. And this is going to be important later. Number 5. Number 6. And the one right in the middle is number 7. And remember, that's going to be important. I'm going to tell you right now, this is 7 pins. You got number 1. It's number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. number 6, one right in the middle, number 7. Alright, and I'd say most of you out there right now are not interested at all in this video, but some of you are, because a lot of these Everlast welders are 7-pin, and this really goes into almost like the engineering aspect where you can make things, you can make switches, you could do whatever. Basically, so this and this one, which is number 6, and number 7 right here, are shorted together. So let's say this is the plug right here. I don't even have the plug here. You're gonna stick it in here. This plug right here, number 6, number 6, and number 7 are shorted. It's literally a wire that comes from here and is soldered, and it goes right to there. And the purpose of that is for this machine, when you plug it in, the machine knows that you have a pedal on there, a foot pedal. Your machine knows you have a foot pedal. So it nulls this void. This amperage is void. It goes to 49 or 50 amps. It knows, it basically sends a signal. It's basically a switch. As soon as you plug it in, it's basically a switch. It's basically a switch. Number 6, number 6, number 7. It's a switch that tells this machine that you just plugged in a foot pedal. Okay? So, number 1, right here, number 1, and number 2 are the switch when you push the foot pedal. Now when you hook it up here for the control for just the switch on the TIG, on the torch assembly, there's just a switch, and it is only those 2 wires that are connected for the switch. Number 1 and number 2. Number 1 and number 2. It's just a switch. So, I mean, what I can do right now, I can just hook a wire up to here and hook a wire up to here and put a switch on it. As soon as I hit that switch together, you get whatever full amperage you're reading on this thing right here. Okay? But if you have a foot pedal, that's what these are to. Number 6 and number 7. As soon as you plug in that foot pedal, those 2 wires are shorted, and it tells this machine that you have a foot pedal in it. So it's really, really simple. The foot pedal also has a switch. So as soon as you plug a foot pedal in, these 2 are shorted together. They're basically touching each other. And this machine knows, when I say knows, I mean quote unquote knows, because it has, you know, some computer software in there. It has some computer software in there. So it knows that you hooked up a remote, a foot pedal. But without the foot pedal, you just have these 2 right here. Let's say you had no switch that came with this machine. You can literally get the red crimping. You could get a switch, get the red crimps right here, plug it here, run some wire out, and put a switch. And you can control this machine, the amperage, with you know, with whatever torch you got. You can make your own switch, is what I'm saying. You get this one, and these are the switch controls. Now these 2 right here are shorted when you hook up an amp, any type of amp controls. to this thing, including a foot pedal. These two right here. So as soon as you plug it in, it tells this unit that you have amp controls. Now, so out of 7 pins, you have for the switch to activate the amps, activate the current, these two right here. And then you have the shorted, they just touch each other. All they do is touch each other when you hook up the foot pedal to tell this machine that you have a foot pedal. So all you would really have to do is short those two together. These two right here, number 6 and number 7. So you have the switch right here, number 1 and 2. And then you have the input to tell this machine that you have some kind of foot pedal or control like that. And then these two last, these last 3 right here, this one, this one, this one, which is number 3, 4, and 5. Actually, hold on. It's number, yeah, 3, 4, and 5. Number 3, number 3, number 4, and number 5. That is for the potentiometer. If you know how potentiometer works, it's the same on a car. Throttle position sensor is a potentiometer. You have a power and you have a ground, and then you have the signal. It's basically the same thing. Was it like a EGR? Like the EGR, they have the EGR position sensors. That's also like a potentiometer. It tells you the position of the EGR. Any type of position sensor like that, usually it's like a potentiometer. You have 3 wires. You have a positive and negative, and the signal. All it really is in the foot pedal. So you have the positive that goes to the foot pedal. Actually, I think the positive is here. The positive sent out, then it goes through a resistor, and then it goes to ground here. And then depending on the signal, depending on the position of the foot pedal, it sends the signal through right here. And that signal is an input to this unit to tell how much amperage. Now for this particular unit, I don't know exactly the resistance and everything of what you would need to use. I'll further update this video. But these 3 wires right up here, number 3, number 3, number 4, and number 5, number 3, number 4, and number 5 are for the potentiometer that is in the foot pedal. So you got a positive, then you have a negative, and then you have the signal right here. Inside of the foot pedal itself is where you have the potentiometer itself. So you'll have the resistor, then you'll have the swiper, and this is the swiper right here that goes across the resistor to give the variable voltage. So 7-pin, people were asking about it. It's a little bit confusing to some people, but it's very simple. As soon as you plug a foot pedal up to this thing, it knows because these 2 wires are shorted. As soon as you push down on the foot pedal, a switch activates. This is the switch activation. Sent voltage here. You have a good ground here. And here's the signal right here into the unit to tell how much amps to control. And I'll update it later. But with that information, you can literally make your own switches. You can make your own foot pedal. You can make your own, go buy a potentiometer and make your own foot pedal. You could switch activate it. I made my own switch actually with these 2 right here. All I did was put some crimp in here, and made my own switch. Boom. You can activate this unit to control. So with 2 switches, with 1 switch right here, with a wire stuck in here, and with your own potentiometer, you can make your own amp controls. You can make your own foot pedal. I think this is cool because you're basically manipulating this thing to do what you want it to do. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe.